Hey, did you see that? Season 7, episode 13 of the Haves and the Have-Nots. Oh my goodness. Oh, I can't wait to talk about it. But the ending, it was just like... So let's get started right away. It's your girl Barbie J, and it starts off this way. Vinny is at Uncle Vinny. He's at the precinct. He just shot that guy in the head right there. Killed him because he was talking about arresting them. I'm like, how you going to shoot somebody, a police officer, in a precinct? It didn't even make no sense, in a police station. So the other police officers running there, and they're trying to assist, and they got a faint pulse, and I'm like, that guy should be dead. I don't know about no faint pulse. He should be dead. That's what I'm seeing. And that young Sandy, that cousin, he was like, I don't feel good, Uncle Vinny. I don't feel good. And he's like, what's up with you? You know, and then he was like, they had to take him out. He said, take him out. They had to take him out because he's like, nah, you don't understand. I don't feel good. I said, wait a minute. Tough Sandy, the one that had a restraining order on him because he bossing around women, black people, whoever, acting like he's so tough when he seems like he not. Seemed like he a little wussy to me. And that ain't what I wanted to say. And they took him out. So then he's like, Uncle Vinny's like, where's my mother? And they like, calm down and stuff. And they like, where's that ambulance? And they told the other cop, get the videotape so we could see what happened here. You know, and it went on from like that. And next thing you know, you see Mama Rose and Catherine in the prison cell. And Catherine's like, I think I heard a gunshot. She said, oh, that must mean my boys are here. She said, what? I mean, you know, they just killing people. She know they there. So Mama Rose and Catherine get into this thing where Mama Rose is judging her about her parenting skills and style or whatever. And with all that money, you can't help your son and stuff. And Catherine's like, I know you ain't trying to judge me. I know you not. And she said, yes, I am. And Catherine went, And she's like, what does that mean? She said, aren't you in a mob? She said, well, don't they call you the mob boss? And she said, no, they call me mob queen. I said, I hear that, you know. And they going back and forth, and Catherine is telling her, told Mama Rose that they paid them off, call a hit off. You know, and Mama Rose is like, I don't know nothing about that. And Catherine's like, I got 75 reasons that I know of. And so Mama Rose said that wasn't enough, and that they better give her she got 24 hours to give her another $1 million to not hurt her son or something like that. Because first she was saying, Mama Rose said, I need answers, you know, and Catherine said, so do I. She said, well, I can help you. You want me to find out where your son is? That's what you want, right? She said, no, I don't need your help or something like that. And she was like, well, I can help you find out. She said, what, you think I'm going to do something to your son? And Catherine was like, that's okay. I don't need your help. Don't need your help. And Mama Rose at some point, you know, that she said, I don't need your old biatch. She called her old gray-headed biatch or something. And Mama Rose said, the only reason, she said, you're one too. It's just that you got all that color hair dye in your head, you know. And they were going back and forth at it and stuff. And Mama Rose said, who do you think you are? She said, I am Catherine Hargrove Cryer, my father's daughter. I said, hey, Catherine. Catherine is not backing down. She's like, don't let the money and the fancy clothes and jewelry fool you. She's like, I am not going to wuss up right now. She is standing up to Mama Rose. I don't know if she crazy or not, or everybody else afraid, but she like, you ain't going to do this. Catherine is a tough cookie. So I was like, kudos to her. In a circle, honey. So they went back and forth. And she said she wasn't going to do it. And Catherine reminds her about that, what she did with that dumping the body, you know, Jennifer Salas' body with the note on it about the cries and stuff. And Mama Rose said that was just a warm-up. And Catherine said, look, you better not touch my son. You better not touch my son. And she said, what if I do? She said, I'm going to give you a 3-for-1. I said, oh, snap. I said, what's up? I was like, it sounds so funny the way she said it, but I was like, what's a 3-for-1? I don't even know what that is. If somebody know, please put it in the comment section, because I was like, a 3-for-1. Oh, snap. All right, Catherine pulling all the stuff. But Mama Rose was, also said that she said when she get out, she was going to kill him. And she said the first person she was going to kill was Catherine's hairdresser. I said, oh, Lord. She being silly now, but it was cute the way she said it. And then they go to Justin. It's outside Madison's apartment. How does he find out where everybody live when he not even on the police force anymore? So he knows Madison's address. He's out in front of, not his building, he in front of his apartment door. That's a lot of nerve. His apartment door. And Madison's like, get away from my house. Get away from here. And he's, can I come in? No, you can't come in. What is wrong with you? You can't come in. You need help. He kept telling him, you need help. And he's like, no, you was right. You was right. I hate myself because I'm gay. You know, and you're the only one that understands me. He said, that's all well and good. He said, but I can't help you. You need to go get help. You're not coming in my apartment. And he keeps telling him. And he finally leaves him out there, you know, and by his door. He goes inside and he calls Jeffrey to let Jeffrey know that he made it home safely. And Jeffrey's like, good, that's wonderful. And then he said, oh, Jeffrey, by the way, Justin's here. He said, what? Justin's here? And he was like, yeah, he's outside my apartment. He said, be careful. He got something up his sleeve or something if he's there. He said, I know, but I ain't letting him in. He said, I'm going to come there. You want me to come there? He's like, no, you don't have to. He said, no, I'm going to come there. He said, why? And you know, Madison turns it into a little bit of sexual kind of like, you know, you won't come back for some more. But he's like, no, I'm the one that got you into this, so I want to be there. You know, I got you into this issue with Justin, so I'm coming. And he said, great. So then they show Wyatt. He's pressing the bell. Wyatt, bzz, bzz, in the hospital, annoying the heck out of all the nurses and doctors. He need medicine. He's in pain. He's this. That's that drugs. Them drugs he need. That's what that's all about. And they were like, we just gave you some drugs, and he wants some more. I want some more drugs. They like, no, we're not giving you no more. And she walking out. He said, wait, I gotta pee. She said, there's a cup right there. He said, I can't reach it. She go over there, throw the cup at him, and it's in the bed. He said, can you hold it for me? I said, oh snap. She was like, get the out of here. You know, and she walked away, and before she walked away, he snatched something out of her pocket. It looked like a little pin or something. And I was like, where did he take a pin? And whatever it was, he was using it to jimmy hit the lock on his handcuffs and got it open. Now, what kind of handcuffs they got on him if he could jimmy it open with something like that quick? I mean, it didn't even take him a minute to get it open. Unless he's just an expert. I guess some people use hairpins. And so he gets out, puts on his boots, and he jets. He runs. How does he run home in a hospital gown? Nobody see him. Nobody say nothing. He makes it home. He kicks the door in because he don't have a key. Sets the alarm off. He starts going through stuff, and the phone rings. The phone rings, and it's the police. They, you know, they calling the alarm monitoring center, and they're calling saying that what's the password? They asked who he was. He said, Jim Cryer. Don't know the password. He used his name. He used his sister's name. None of them worked. And he said, wait. They said, we're sending the police. He told them, wait. And he dropped the phone and ran upstairs, changed his clothes, put on new clothes, and then raided his mother's jewelry. Raided all his mother's jewelry, sticking it all in his pocket and everything. And supposedly he also must have went in her drug closet or something, because Jim mentions that later on in the episode. So he takes all that, he runs, jumps in his car, and drives off before the police get there. Now, what took the police so long to get there? They should have already been there, to me. To me, I think, especially in their affluent neighborhood, you know, they should have been there. Then they go to Jeffrey and David are talking. All right, and Jeffrey and David are talking, and he said, son, where you going? He's like, oh, I'm going to Madison's. He said, well, Madison just left. He's like, yeah, I know. He said, oh, never mind. He said, what's that mean, Dad? He's like, no, nothing. He said, I just got something on my mind. He said, what? He told him about the girl outside. What girl outside? And he tells him everything about Erica and the video and stuff. And Jeffrey tells David to be careful, you know, don't mess with her and whatever. So they had their little talks, and they go outside. You know, David wants Jeffrey outside, and Jeffrey gets in his car, and he's looking at the girl like, what is going on? But the girl now is not in the fountain, but she's all the way out there standing by the edge of the property where Veronica was that day when they were arguing. So he asks his security about him. Leo, I think the security's name is. He asks her, and he said, the girl is clean, you know, she's this, she worked as a stripper, she even went to college, da-da-da-da. So he said, have her come in. Of course, security don't think that's a good idea, but she comes in. she brings her in, and he's trying to talk to her, find out information. David wants to find out information, and he's telling Leo he could leave, and Leo said, I don't think that's a good idea. And the girl said, no, it's not a good idea. I want both of y'all, you know, because he's cute too. She want a threesome. I said, this girl is so, oof, oof. She hot, totsy. And David, she started taking off all her clothes, and David's like, put your clothes back on, you know, I want nothing. And he said, let's take a ride. Because she was like, I'll do anything for you. I told Candace, I told Erica everything she know, and I know some other tricks too. And she had all her clothes. She said, no, I'm more comfortable with them off. He said, please put them back on. He said, let's take a ride. And they went out and they get in the car. And then they showed Candace and Mitch. And Candace and Mitch, what are they? Oh, they pull up in front of Hannah's apartment. And Hannah is not home. They don't see her car. And Mitch is like, Hannah will be pissed and stuff. And she's like, I know. Candace like, I know, but what can I do? And then at that moment, Benny comes out, and he's like, what y'all doing? And she's like, I gotta get my stuff. And she said, he said, where's mine? And she said, oh, she's okay, don't worry about it. He said, what do you mean she's okay? Where is she? And she's like, I don't know. You don't know where mine is? He said, you think she went back to the place? And she said, no, we got somebody watching the door, so they're not gonna let her back in, and da-da-da-da. You know, so they're talking, and he said he's going to find out about Derek, and she's like, leave it alone, Penny, just leave it alone. He said, no, I'm going to find out what this dude did to mine, blah, 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 blah. So he cuts out and jet. Then that's when Candace gets a message or a text or something that a flight has been changed or delayed or whatever it is. So Candace is like, dang, and I can't even get my luggage because Benny just left with the key. So Mitch asks about this Derek, and she said, I'm gonna need your help with that Derek thing, you know. And then she told him that she was a rape baby, her mom got raped, and she's dating him and stuff. And I said, hold up, Candace, who are you to start telling your mama's personal business? That's your mama's personal business. You know how to keep secrets with all your stuff. You gonna tell mama's business that she got raped? That ain't Mitch's. There's no reason for Mitch to know that. You could have kept that quiet and kept it to yourself. I was like, whoa, these people they know how to tell other people's business. Anyway, so she told me she might need him and blah, blah, blah. And so they discussed that, what might be done, you know, because she said, you know how Benny is, and Benny won't leave it alone. It might get nasty, you know. But Benny's like, I want to know who this Derek dude, and da-da-da-da-da, you know. Anyway, but he's defending his mama, and I understand it. But like I said in the last episode, he don't want nobody else upsetting his mama, but it's okay for him to do it. Hello, children. Anyway, so Candace finds out. She found out that her flight was delayed and all that stuff. And then Hannah pulls up. And Mitch is like, uh-oh, there she is. And you know Hannah's pissed because what they did to her, how she had her carried out. And Hannah's like, no, she's like, hi. And Hannah's like, get away from me. Don't say nothing to me. How dare you, blah, blah, blah. She was pissed. She was steaming. And she said, I just want to come and get myself. She ain't say, you ain't getting nothing. You ain't getting nothing. And she said, Mama, it was for your own good. How do you know my own was for my own good? You know, Hannah was in there. She's like, you got a lot of nerve. She said, Ma, the Malones are taking care of. She said, okay, gangster princess. She did it again, gangster princess. They taking care of it. And this is what we doing now. You know, she was like, you not coming in to get your things. She said, I don't care. I don't care. She said, I just want to go and leave. She said, I just want my passport. Your passport? Oh, that's what you do? You start running again? You take people's money and you run? You know, Hannah was going in, and at that point her phone rings, and it's the police at the Cryer's house, and she's telling them, well, Jim Cryer's at the hospital. Maybe you should talk to him, but she'll be there. And so she turned right around and got in her car and left Candace sit right there by the stoop, and she got in her car and drove off, and Candace just sat there. And that was that part. And then it goes back to Benny. Here's Benny. What was with Benny? Oh, Benny shows up at Veronica's house, and he's trying to find out information about Derek. That's what he's trying to find out about Derek and his address. And Veronica's like, why you need that information? I know he's dating your mama. What'd he do now? He's like, don't worry about that. Do you have his address or not? She said, well, what I'm gonna get for that information? She said, tell him, you know, you carry a nice stick and all this stuff. And she's like, you the best I ever had. He said, that's all well and good and nice, but I just really want this information. And she's like, what you gonna give me for that? And then she told me, she misses you. She misses you. Talking about her coochie. She's like, she misses you. And we like, I said, Veronica's a big old rich hoe. She a rich hoe. That's what she is. She don't care. She like them young and black and ooh, strong or whatever. But anyway. So at that point, at some point, they end up start kissing. And how is it David could just walk in her house? David just walks in her house. Her door unlocked because Benny could have just walked in there. David walks in with the girl, and they don't seem to hear it. How does it, and neither one of them heard it. David walks in with the girl, and they I don't know what it was. He made a sound and said something, and all of a sudden they realize he's there. And Veronica's like, the hell you up here walking up in my house? And who this you got in my house with me? And he was like, who's this, Veronica? Who's this? She said, I don't know who that is. She said, is somebody in need of a facial or this or clothes or something? You know Veronica, she just tore the girl apart in just like 30 seconds. She just told her everything that was wrong with the girl and stuff. And she's like, he said, well, who is it? She said, ask her. I don't know. She said, bitch, who are you? And she said who she was. She said, there you go, David. That's who that is. You know, oh, it was so ridiculous. And David, he just always do that. He jumps to conclusions. Did he jump to that day when he slapped her and thought she did something to Jeffrey, and it wasn't her, it was that guy Justin? You know, I'm like, David, stop jumping to conclusions. That part annoys me, you know, with him. So he didn't even have no facts, but he's out there. So he walked out, said, don't be sending nobody to my house no more. He left the girl there. Her pocketbook and her cell phone is in his car. She has no way to get back. She's trying to get help to get back. Veronica don't give a damn about nobody. Y'all know that but Veronica. So she wasn't trying to help her. Then Benny was being as cold too and didn't want to help her. And he left, and Veronica didn't want him to leave, but he was like, I gotta go, you know. And he was pissed. So he walks out, and the girl follows behind him. And she's like, I'm sorry, I can't help you. I got stuff to do. She's like, please, I don't have nowhere to go. You know, she's trying to get $20 from somebody or anything to get back. And he was like, you know, he was fighting her on it. And then she said, aren't you Candace's brother? And she said, yeah. He said, yeah, how you know? She said, Candace was my pimp. You know, she said, she was your pimp. He said, for that reason, you think I should give you a ride? She said, look, if you're looking for somebody, I could probably help you. You know, she felt she could help him. So that's what she was trying to do. And so he gave her a ride to the club. He said, you better not be lying. I said, Benny always think he tough. You be tough with the wrong damn people. So he gave her a ride to the club and stuff. And her girl was trying to help him. But I don't know if she was really able to help him. But she told him where she think he used to live. Her friend, I think her name was Roz or something, took her to the club, and they were going back and forth. Ooh, who this piece of, ooh, this cutie and all that stuff. But that's all the information they gave. But at that point, he got a phone from Mitch, and Mitch said to come. He have some information for him to meet him back at the bar. So that's what they did. And then the officer, they show an officer show up to the hospital for Jim Cryer. And the officer is telling him about the break-in and stuff. And he said, you know anybody who would want to break in? And he blamed it on the workers at this young black kid at the hotel. And he's like, what does he look like? He young black kid. I said, why the black kid get picked first, you know? Anyway, but then he said, well, they went in a closet and they did this. He said, well, do you know if anything would have been taken out of there? What could be taken? He said, hold on, I got security on my phone, you know, the cameras. And he looks on his cell phone and he sees that it's Wyatt. He said, you know what? Never mind. I don't press any charges or anything. He said, why? He said, I know the person. He said, you know who it is? He said, yeah. So he said, let me ask you something, officer. Is my son still in custody? He said, your son? He said, yeah, Wyatt Cryer. He said, yeah, he's still in custody. He said, really? He said, come here. He shows him the camera. He shows him the camera and it has his Wyatt there running. He said, well, sir, how could that be if we have him in custody? He said, exactly. and he had the police officer leave. I thought that was funny. I was like, oh my Lord. But this is, you know how Tyler Perry, he writes these things. It's just so, it's so crazy. Tyler, this episode is cracking me up. It really is. You know, and then Jim calls David, and David is sitting in his car, you know, upset about what went down, thinking Veronica has something to do with that girl, Alyssa or Melissa, whatever her name is. But he don't realize Veronica ain't got nothing to do with her. And so Jim's asking him, David, to go and check on his house, because it seems like Wyatt got into there, and you got to see, he said, you know, Catherine's closet's like a drug den or something like that. So he's scared that Wyatt got into her drugs. So he asked David to go there, and David said he would do that. Hannah shows up. Hannah showed up to the precinct. She shows up, not to the precinct, to the crier's house. And the cops are like, who are you? Like, why are you here? And you have ID? And she says, sure. She gave him my ID. Why are you here? Oh, because I work for them. Why did she say they called me? The police called my phone. They called your phone. It's not because you work there. That's not why you're there. So they said, did you know if anything is missing? And she said, yeah, because I guess she does go through the jewelry and stuff and cleans and whatever. Oh, excuse me. And she goes there, and they have her go in there. They said, we already have a suspect. And we have a suspect. She said, you do? He said, yeah. He said, well, you think you could tell us if you recognize him or know the person? And she said, sure, okay. So they walk into the house, and who is it? Who is it? Who do they have in custody? Oh, my God. But Derek. I said, oh, snap. Oh, snap. How do they have Derek? I said, the only thing I could think is Derek was going there to do some work. Like, it was a job that he had been working on and had to go there and do work, and happened to be around and came by and saw that the door was wide open. That's the only thing I could think. But Hannah's like looking at him. I said, Hannah, don't be stupid, because you know Catherine trusts that man with her life. And Catherine do not think there's any problem with Derek. So hopefully Hannah does the right thing. But I can't wait to this next season, next episode, to find out what's going on. So talk back to me, people. Talk back to Barbie J in the comment section. Let me know what you thinking, what you feeling. All right? All right. This is Barbie J. I'm out. Peace.